and have a good year.
Well, as long as you get, to me, 40 wins is equivalent to like 20 wins in basketball, or 10 wins in football. So
yeah, if you get 40 wins, that's where you kind of want to be at. And that's, you could lose a couple of games in baseball. It's not, because baseball is a sport that kind of losses don't hurt you too much unless you lose a series.
Of course, LSU, I don't think they're going to have that season where they broke the school record for most wins in a regular season at 48 when they had Mason Katz and them there, but they'll be all right.
Well,
I expect LSU to get about 41, 42 wins this year.
All right, now shifting gears here, the UL Lafayette Ragin Cajuns. They are 5-4 so far this year. They are ranked.
They're not doing as good as I thought they would be doing either.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in UL so far this year.
I thought they would come out to a fast start.
But, sometimes it takes you a little bit while to get going here.
Yeah, last year it took y'all a long while to get going. Y'all won 8
but,
games
hey,
in a row.
They peaked at the right time. They were peaking at the right time.
It was looking grim, then all of a sudden y'all just... when it was looking grim in regionals, then all of a sudden y'all just came back and just pretty much ran through.
UL so far, they're not 4-3 according to this. They're number 16 according to the Baseball America poll. They did win a weekday game. I think it was Tuesday at Teague-Moore Field against the University of New Orleans, like I mentioned earlier. And they lost to McNeese, which is a college in Lake Charles.
Mm-hmm.
And they are rivals, in-state rivalry like Uno is. But
football, baseball.
Speaking of which, McNeese, they had an article posted about UL football versus McNeese football. It's an interesting recommend everybody go read it. It's on Underdog Dynasty. They cover all UL, the Sun Belt.
I-10 rivalries back this year. That's what it's called in football.
Yeah.
UL McNeese.
It's a very fun game. And you know what? I'm looking forward to that game probably more than the Boise State game. You want to know why? I'm looking forward to UL possibly upsetting Boise State when they come to Cajun Field. But another reason than that, I have a lot of friends that I graduated with in high school, and they all go to McNeese. McNeese is it's either UL or McNeese you go to when you go to. You've got some couple of people that go to Louisiana Tech and UL Monroe.
I have several of them that go to LSU,
and I have some that go to LSU as well. But the majority either go to UL Lafayette or McNeese or McNasty.
McNasty. Just
yeah.
McNasty.
But it's a rivalry, and if you listen to another show that's on Spreaker, I think it's All Mashup Midnight Hour or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say the guy's name, but Ben. I'm not going to say his name on the air on that show because that's, we don't want people to get offended, but I think political correctness in this country has gone a little too far in my opinion, but that's another topic for a different day. But, anyway, Ben is, it's going to be some trash talking, let me say it like that. It's going to get real.
He's a McNeese man.
He's a McNeese man. And,
I'm looking forward to, contrary to you, I was looking more forward to that the season opener with Boise State because I want to see how y'all match up compared to a bigger school.
I like the game against Boise State.
Even though, in my opinion, which we'll talk about college football preview.
Don't give any spoilers going on. We're not going to even cover this yet. Football is.
But I think Boise State's going to probably pretty close to destroying y'all.
No, they're not. They're coming to Cajun Field, and we're going to make a stand, and we're going to bull rush the stadium, and we're just going to go in there, and we're going to rip the coach's head off.
I don't know. Boise State went to a lot of places, and they destroyed opponents. So. Hawaii 52-0 last year.
Hey, I don't know. I think we get in the heads of the players sometimes. We get in the heads of the players out there.
Well,
especially with our sign.
The sign, yes, but I think their players are more advanced than the other players. But we'll talk about that.
If we got to cheat,
we'll talk about that in about.
Okay, we're getting off topic.
5 months from now.
Oh, Juice, you got to get me on topic, dude. Okay. Oh, believe it or not, Juicy thought I was lying today. We talked earlier today, and he thought
about the school they're playing this weekend.
Yeah, I told him because my high school is Sacred Heart. That's where I graduated from.
Yeah,
don't. Yeah, That's where I graduated from. And UL Lafayette is playing Sacred Heart. Not Sacred Heart High School. Sacred Heart University. They're coming to T. Moore Field. Game going to start at 6 today, about 3 hours from now. So let's look at...
We may or may not go. It's never too
Yeah.
late. It's right down the road.
It's right down the road. Literally like a walk. I could walk to the baseball game. Let's see here. Who's pitching today? Gunnar Leger versus James Kuksky. And Saturday, Wyatt Marks, and Sunday, Nick Lee. Tony Robichaux has changed up the rotation for UL to see if that could spark some better offensive production.
Apparently, he's concerned about his offensive production here.
But he's
It was similar to what Paul Maneri did in Omaha last year for LSU. When they got beat by TCU pretty bad in the first game, they changed it up for Cal State Fullerton, and it worked in the elimination game.
Yeah. They hold a 3-0 all-time series with Sacred Heart, having swept the Pioneers in a 3-game series in 2013. So
it's funny, I never heard of this college. I only heard of the high school.
I've heard of them before. Sacred Heart 0-3 comes to the weekend on a 3-game losing streak after being swept by Stephen F. Austin last week.
I expect y'all to sweep them.
Okay, so Friday I got UL winning, Saturday and Sunday, so I'm calling the sweep. Take out the broom.
I expect the sweep, but I surely expect 2 out of 3.
Yeah, worst case scenario, 2 out of 3, I think. But
I'm not saying I'm not saying they won't sweep them, but I wouldn't be surprised if they swept them.
Victor Sorrento leads Sacred Heart offensively. He's got a batting average of .615.
Well, that's still pretty early in the season. He hasn't had that many at-bats yet, sir.
Well, I think they only played 3 games according to this, but yeah.
If they only played 3 games, he definitely hasn't had that many at-bats.
But UL, they're undefeated at the Teague. So, will they continue the streak? They're 4-0 at home.
Mm-hmm. Well, did y'all play at home Tuesday night?
Yep.
And y'all won?
We won.
So y'all 5 and y'all 5 and 4.
No, we're 4-0 because this is
I'm talking about your overall record. You're actually 5 and 4.
Yeah, we won. That's against. It was a big team. It wasn't TCU. We lost to TCU. Or was it TCU?
No, y'all lost to TCU. Y'all lost to.
We won.
Tech too.
We lost to Tech, which Rice. It was Rice. Yeah, right. Tech, we should have won that game because we had a runner on second and third, I think, and had a guy come with a bat. He had 2.
Y'all lost 3 in a row at one point.
Yeah. That first loss at Tech, I was shocked because I was like, when I heard Tech pitched their starter for Friday, I was like, why would you do that? And I'm pretty sure you heard my rant last week about it. But, yeah, TCU's got a very good ball club this year. They only lost 1 game.
Well, they made it to the finals, or they almost made it to the finals a year ago.
Well, it's going to be funny so far how this is all going. I'm excited to see how UL adapts to it right now. They're 7-1, TCU.
Well, TCU, the head coach they got now, has taken them to Omaha like 3 or 4 times because the one before that, they've only been to Omaha 1 time in their whole school history, and then now they've been to Omaha 3 times since he's taken over. So he's done a lot with their program in the past 5-6 years.
Right now, the way it's looking for UL, with the schedule and stuff, how it lines up, if UL can beat LSU later on.
Which that's not going to happen, people. But
which, it's a very good possibility it could happen.
No.
I agree with it, but let's say hypothetically.
The way y'all playing, the way we playing right now, the way y'all playing.
Well, right now, I don't think we're there yet, but they still got time. It's still got time working on your lineup.
I'm just going off for right now, how y'all playing.
Well, LSU lost to UL.
Last year.
Not last year, but the year before.
Oh, well, you can't base it off of 2 years, especially 2 years ago.
We can't base off last year either.
I know, I'm not basing it off of last year, I'm basing it off of how they playing right now.
Speaking of which, UL lost to LSU that first game off a walk-off home run.
In Super Regionals, yes.
But,
that was also last year, too.
That was also last year. We kept basing anything off last year. But this is basically the same team that made it to the Super Regional last year.
Well, it's not performing so far up what I thought.
Hey, you gotta work on your lineup. You gotta switch guys around, maybe get some guys going that, hey, people that is not hitting the ball right now. UL's pretty sound defensively, but if they can get their offense producing, going like UL needs it to get going, then they'll win games, I think.
But overall, after 3 weeks, they've been kind of one of my disappointment teams so far.
We'll see. They might rebound. We'll see what happens.
But still, there's a long season to go.
We got a long way till we get.
But I'm not looking too far ahead. I'm just looking at what's happened. What's
happening this week? UL sweeps LSU. UL worst they're going to do is probably 2 wins. They'll win the series. Worst LSU probably do 2 wins.
I don't expect any of them to lose the series.
I don't think both of them is going to lose the series. I think they'll get out there and perform the way they have to perform. Me and my Contra will be at the game Saturday. Me and Juicy might even go over there.
We might go to later on. We don't know yet.
I wonder.
We got plenty of time to decide. It's not right there.
Right now, I'm thinking about going. We might go geocaching too.
Mm-hmm.
It's very pretty outside today.
It's just kind of warm too.
Yeah. Spring is here, baby.
But it's supposed to turn cool again.
Spring is here.
Louisiana is pretty much summer and winter.
You know what? No, we didn't have a winter at all, dude.
Well,
we skipped winter.
No, we had some cold spells, but
no, not even close compared to what it was the year before and the year after before that.
No, this winter was kind of warm, but the past few winters before this one have been pretty brutal by our standards.
Yeah.
I don't know about up there in New York. It's probably balmy compared to.
Like y'all lucky.
No, we hadn't had no 15-degree mornings like the past few winters.
And yeah, I have to. Let's see. I can't eat meat today because I'm a Catholic. And man, last night we ate some Hardee's. That's about the best, cheap. I called it the rich man's McDonald's because Hardee's, you get like a monster.
You ought to go to Hardee's. You can probably get a fish burger over there. Huh?
Yeah, I can. Or I can go to Little Caesars, pick me a little $5 hot and ready pizza,
but
cheese pizza.
You're not going to deprive me of my meat because I'm not Catholic. I'm sure going to eat my meat. And no, don't take that dirty, people. I said I'm going to eat my meat, and I didn't mean it like that.
He's coming on to me, guys. He's coming on.
I'm changing over.
No. Yeah, we'll forget about that. It's college baseball is a very interesting sport because a lot of things can happen to these different teams. Because you don't know what's going to happen out there. What if LSU and UL, they just drop the ball and they both get swept this weekend?
Very highly unlikely. Get that about a 2% chance of happening, but...
Okay, right now, we're going to... who do you think's making it to the Omaha Finals? We're going to do this every week, and we could change.
As of right now, what I was reading earlier, I said Florida and Vandy are almost a gimme. Florida State's a gimme, too.
I'm talking about the 2 teams you think will go deepest.
Vandy's probably going to go...
I was thinking of Vandy.
Vandy's probably going to get to the finals. They've been there the last 3 years in a row.
Vandy's pretty good.
Florida's probably going to make it to the semifinals.
You know what? TCU. Give me TCU.
I was going to take UCLA and Vandy right now.
I think TCU and Vanderbilt will do...
I think LSU might make it just to the first round like last year.
And they'll get knocked out.
But they did. But at least they didn't go 2-0 a year ago. They did win 1 game at least.
Yeah. Well, that'll be all for our episode this weekend here. We appreciate everybody listening and tuning in here to the Fishbowl Radio. You know, speaking of which, I got done my project, ended exactly at 2 minutes, so I'm not going to lose no points. Take that, Teach.
As long as you don't lose points, it don't matter if you don't gain any points.
What's the funny thing about that class was, my audio production class, is based on the fact that you got to make a radio script, which I already know how to make a radio script because I've been doing this for 3 years. But anyway,
I don't make scripts. I just go off my head.
We have to, and I knew everything had to be capitalized.
None of this is written down. What we're going to say, people.
Because this is the amateur radio. Spreaker is amateur radio.
We don't write nothing down. What we speak is purely off the top of our
head. So if you offend anybody, go listen to something else. But
go listen to something that's planned. But we don't plan nothing.
But you know the funny thing is, back to what my teacher was saying. She's like, I want your script to be exactly what you say. Okay, so I typed up my script and everything. Then I she's like, turn in your CD. Well, I didn't type my script out first because you do like a rough draft script because you got to change things. You got to minimize things, make it fit a certain time because we do Adobe Audition. If some of y'all have that program on your computer, y'all would know. you got to cut things. You got to cut it down to 2 minutes because I took a 20-minute interview and compressed it into 2 minutes.